If you are wondering what this is, these are colors. Well, the festival of colors is around the corner, Holi. If you want to make colors at home, natural, do-it-yourself style, this video is specially for you. Colors which are good for your skin. They do not have chemicals. Colors of natural origin. Let's begin. Now, generally, unfortunately, a lot of chemical dyes and a lot of non-food grade colors and dyes are used in making colors. There's a lot of lead oxide and bromide and sulfates and sulfites, and it's too much of a bromide combination that goes in making colors. Now that we are making it in-house, now there are 2-3 different components to this. One is getting the base right. The base is of course going to be either a combination of arrowroot or corn flour or just arrowroot. Then comes the second component, which is the color. For the color, I'm going to use a lot of fresh ingredients. Rose petals, of course, to bring in that little hue of pink. I'm going to use purple cabbage for a combination of purple, and I'll also show you how to convert it to blue. I have marigold in 2 colors. I have orange and yellow, and I have spinach leaves, of course, for green. The third component is getting the flavor profile. Now, of course, this is not going to give it the flavor. So for that, I'm going to add in food grade essences. Now, of course, I'll come to it as and when I teach. To begin with, I have rose petals. Now, these are your classic pink rose petals from Ajmer for that deep pink color. You don't have to do anything, just ensure that you pick in, there should be no leaves. Seeds are fine because they're going to add into the flavor. And we're going to crush this in a mixer jar. So let's do that. You can also make white color. Now, when I say white color, of course, white is not a color. But you can also kind of flavor it with white rose petals, and maybe if you're just doing a neutral one, then you can just mix arrowroot with mogra essence or something like that, so that that is also kind of perfumed. You can also mix a combination of talcum powder. Of course, I'll show you the ratios, but before that, let's crush this. Now, while crushing this, it's also important to add in a little bit of water. Now, you'd wonder how much water. For a cup of arrowroot, I'm going to use 1/8 cup of the final decoction. Now, that final decoction, of course, would have a combination of water, the extract from these fresh ingredients, the essence. All of that combined will be 1/8 cup and 1 cup of the flour or the starch. Now, for this, I'm going to add in water. Now, ensure that the water is ice cold, because ice water is perfect for extracting flavor. Now, there are 2 kinds of flavors. One is just getting the flavor out, and the other one is called an emulsion, which is a combination of essence and color. So in a lot of ways, we are actually making an emulsion. We need to keep pushing all of this to the center of the blade. Let's have a quick check. Well, I feel this is just perfect, done and ready. The next step is to strain all of this, and that's very important because we need it nice and fine. So of course, I'm going to use a metal strainer, but with that, I'm also going to use a muslin cloth so that there are no grits of any ingredient. Let's bundle all of this together and strain this. The remainder, of course, gets discarded with the muslin. Unless you're running out on muslin, you can wash it and put that to use as well. Ensure that it's not stained at all, no colors, no hues, no mixing. Let's keep this aside. So that is your pink rose extract, and to this I'm going to add in just a drop of raspberry essence. Now imagine when you're finally playing with colors, you have pink color with a fragrance of rose and raspberries. Let's move on to the next color, and that is purple, for which I'm going to use purple cabbage. Let's cut the purple cabbage into shreds. Let's transfer this as well into the jar and grind this again into a fine pulp. Let's strain this as well. Once you have all the extraction with you, let's discard this as well. Before moving on to the next core ingredient, let me divide this into 2. So you have purple, lavender, mauve, whatever you can call it. I'll divide this into two. And in this one, I'm going to add in baking soda. Now this one is sodium bicarbonate. The moment this hits purple, you'll see it starts turning to a shade of blue. Let's give this a little bit of a mix. So if you see, visually also these two colors are very different. In both these, let me add in a touch of black currant essence in both, and that way it's not at all harmful because the essence is of course food grade. Let's move on to the next core ingredient, and that is marigold. Of course, got it in two different colors, two different shades. One is orange and the other one is yellow. Let's begin with orange first. Ensure that you pick all the petals and discard the greens. Let's transfer this in the mixer jar, and again to this, cold water. Once this has run into a nice and smooth pulp, I'm going to add in sandalwood powder. Now this sandalwood powder not only adds into the smell but also ensures that it's kind of even better for your skin. Quick run, and we strain this as well. Well, that's also done and ready. Let's bring this right here. Just a touch of orange essence. Let's give this a quick mix, and this can stay here for a while till we get back to it. Let's move on to the next color, and that is yellow from yellow marigold. Again, the process remains the same. Again to this, cold water. Nice and fine. Well, the whole idea is to combine a lot of fruitiness, a lot of floral notes into these colors so that you feel lovely while playing Holi. Let's strain this as well. Let's keep this aside. A touch of pineapple essence, and along with this, a pinch of turmeric powder, just to kind of bring out that goodness in the color. Let's mix this well. Let's now move on to our last color, and that is green from spinach, of course. For this, of course, you need spinach leaves, roughly cut. Let's add in cold water again and grind this to a fine pulp. With this, we have our green color also done and ready. Stir this. It's kind of slightly frothier, so it's difficult to kind of gauge the color at this point in time. But if I can lift a little and show, it looks something like this. We add in Kewra Essence. You can add in Kewra, you can add in khas, if you can lay your hands on green apple, but that should also be nice. Let's give this all a mix, and with this, your 6 colors are done and ready. Now this, of course, is not the color that we're looking at. We're looking at Holi colors, the drier powder colors. This, of course, is the extract, almost an emulsion, like I said earlier, a combination of color and essence. Now let's move on to the next step, and that is mixing all of this with arrowroot powder, and then we'll see further. Now all we have to do is create a combination of starch. Now you can use a combination of cornstarch, arrowroot and talcum powder. You can use either, or you can use a combination. Choice is completely yours. What I'm using today is just arrowroot powder. A cup of arrowroot into a deep bowl, and to this I'm going to add in one color at a time. Let's add in green to begin with. This, like we all know, is a combination of spinach and Kewra. Time to knock the spoons out and get in with the fingers. Try to break in all the little lumps that you would see, like so. Well, this is done and ready. Let's transfer this onto a dry sieve and sift this. With this, our green color is done and ready. Well, these are going to look nice and pastel-like colors. They're of course not going to be bright and dark. You can by all means add in food color if you personally wish. Well, I think this is just perfect for me and my family, but you can go all out and bring in your food colors. Similarly, let's start making the other colors. With this, our homemade natural colors are done and ready. Well, these are the colors safe for your family. There you go. Absolutely stunning range of pastel colors, especially for you and your family. Have a safe, colorful Holi across the globe. Bye for now.